Hi, everyone. This is Mark Bates, and welcome to the Rabbit Room Apologetics podcast. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so this is my next video in this series, which is the paper I'm writing, Adam, the Serpent, and the Architecture of Rebellion. So, this is going to be a fairly long and large theological paper that I'm hoping to get published shortly. And what I'm looking for here is I just want to present it to you as I'm writing so you can see the process that I go through with this. You can comment on it, you can give me ideas, and critique, criticize, give me the whole 9 yards, right? Okay, so this is the first section I finished here. Sacred space in the architecture of creation. Genesis 2-3 presents, and of course Genesis 2-3 is the second creation story, which talks about the creation of man more, right? And also is the Garden of Eden story. So this presents more than humanity's beginning. It presents a sacred space. The Garden of Eden is framed not as primitive agriculture, but as consecrated geography, the locus of divine dwelling. When read canonically and in light of ancient Near Eastern temple ideology and Second Temple interpretation, Eden emerges as the primordial sanctuary, the cosmic center where heaven and earth converge. And that's important. And while we want, a lot of people keep thinking, I love all those videos on YouTube. We found the Garden of Eden. No, you didn't. It was never on earth in the first place. Okay? It was a halfway point between heaven and earth. It was a place for God to commune with his creation people, right? And his image bearers, okay? That's from Genesis 2. And then where we can serve him, okay? It's not on earth, okay? It's a this is a spiritual place. Okay. Ancient Near Eastern temples were not only cultic buildings. Cultic, if you're not familiar, does not refer to cults as we typically might talk about in modern culture, but cultic buildings are buildings where religious practices. So anything of a religious practice is cultic, okay? It could be Roman Catholic, it could be Protestant, it could be the traditional cults we hear about, right? But their religious practices are called cultic practices. Cultic buildings are buildings where those are done, right? Temples were not only cultic buildings. They symbolized ordered creation itself. The structures embodied the cosmos. Mesopotamian ziggurats, right? And we've seen pictures of those. Those are like the pyramids that you see, but they are more stepstone. They look more like the blocks pyramids that kids build, right? Right? Lego blocks. Okay, so Mesopotamian ziggurats are seen as artificial mountains that rose above cities as bridges between heaven and earth. And that's the key thing here. These were supposed to be bridges between heaven and earth, but they were man-made and they could never fulfill that promise. Eden was a true bridge between heaven and earth. So it wasn't heavenly per se, in the sense that it wasn't purely in heaven, but it wasn't on the earth either. It was this bridge between heaven and earth, expressing belief in divine presence at sacred heights. Their summit shrines marked the Axis Mundi. Axis Mundi is that bridge, right? The center around which civilization revolved. The Babylonian ziggurat Etimenakim, associated with Marduk, right, was called House of the Foundation of Heaven and Earth. Boy, wouldn't you like to have a building called the House of the Foundation of Heaven and Earth? I mean, come on. I mean, like, yeah. So if you're building a church, think about that. House of the Foundation of Heaven and Earth. Such terminology reveals the cosmological imagination at work. The temple was not simply within the world, it stabilized the world. Divine rest in the temple signified royal enthronement. When a deity rested, he ruled. So, when God rested on the seventh day, he ruled. Right? It all fits in. Egyptian temple architecture reflected similar symbolism. Movement from outer courts to inner sanctum represented a transition from ordered creation into concentrated divine presence. The temple interior functioned as a compressed cosmos. Against this backdrop, Genesis 1 and 2 takes on a fresh theological depth. The 7-day structure culminating in divine rest, right? This mirrors temple inauguration patterns in the ancient world. Creation itself may be presented as a cosmic temple, with Eden functioning as its inner sanctum. Yet Genesis radically transforms A&E cosmology, and this is very important, right? Genesis is not a copy of the other culture's cosmology. It's actually a refutation against it, right? So it's their cosmology. There is no divine combat myth. There is no rivalry among the gods. The Creator established sacred space by sovereign word. He spoke it into existence, making Eden distinct from mythological centers. The cosmic center is not Babylon or Thebes. It is the uniquely exclusive dwelling place of Yahweh, right? Eden, therefore, is not an ornamental garden. It's a theological architecture. So that helps you place what Eden is and where it is in the rest of what we're talking about. Okay, if you have any questions, leave me a comment. You have some issues on where I'm going, or you have some ideas of where I'm going, let me know what's going on. Leave me a comment on that stuff. I love comments. As you see, I do a lot of videos where I'm answering the comments. So, if you want an answer on something, put it in there. I love doing this sort of stuff. Hope you have a great day. Check the description if you want to get a discount to Logos software, which is what you're seeing here. I use it. Been using it for over 25 years. Over 20 years. Been doing this for about 25 years. And it's a great tool. So definitely think about that. You get to try it for free, and you get a discount if you buy it. So, hey, why not? Also, look for some links I'm putting in there for some of my other things that you might want access to. But be good. Have a good day. And remember, God is good all the time. Thank you.